Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Everything Everywhere All at Once. And this is from A24 and produced by the Russo brothers, and focuses on an immigrant woman whose family runs a laundromat, whose marriage is kind of on the outs. Her relationship with her daughter is rocky, and she's struggling to take care of her father, and she winds up getting caught up in a crazy multiverse story as she connects with other versions of herself, with other powers, and all these different abilities to try to process and save the multiverse, but also to save her family. And this film is directed by Daniels, which is Daniel Quan and Daniel Scheinert, and this film has so much personality to it, and it's bold in the way that it presents everything. The visuals, the camera work, everything has a very distinct and specific way about it, making this a very unique visual experience. And the way that we have such fluidity going between these different dimensions is so impressive and impactful and exciting. And you have this multiverse story that layers on top of this family drama because you have our main character. Her husband seems like he puts up with a lot, and he's a mild-mannered, kind of guy, but he seems he wants a divorce. And her daughter is a lesbian and really is struggling with trying to come out to her grandfather, and her mother is very critical and unsupportive, and it causes a lot of tension. And their laundromat is being audited by the IRS, by Jamie Lee Curtis of all people. And this film focuses so much on this human drama because that's the anchor to this story, and that gives it humanity. Because you could have just this crazy, over-the-top kind of multiverse story, which would be exciting and cool, but this has heart. It has a lot of it. And you have our main character played by Michelle Yeoh, who's connecting with all these different versions of herself, and some are in prison, some of them are piñatas, some of them are rocks. And it's so weird and crazy, but the editing into this movie, how this all flows together, is incredibly impressive. It took a really great talent to be able to thread all of this together in a meaningful and coherent way. So shout out to Paul Rogers, our editor, and Larkin Seipel, who is the cinematographer, because there's some great shots here, some bold shots, use of mirrors in a really impactful way, and this is a visual treat. It just throws everything at you, and it feels so amazing to watch. And there's so much humor in it too. There's legitimately really funny moments, and a lot of them are from the editing. Quick cuts to something unexpected that just, it's like violent thing, fighting, kung fu, like, and then piñatas. And you're just like, they just turn into a couple piñatas. And it's those kinds of things where it's just like, it's always keeping you on your toes, keeping things exciting and interesting, and the action is thrilling and cool and imaginative and enthralling in many ways as well. And the biggest thing, though, is this is a raw, poignant, emotional story, and this leads up to an emotional climax that is devastating and meaningful, and like the dialogue is not stilted. This doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like really cheesy. It feels raw and real and meaningful, and you could feel the connection as these characters. Michelle Yeoh is an amazing anchor to this film. She's ridiculously charming. She's frustrating. She has all of these layers to her. And Stephanie Hsu brings a lot of emotion into this vulnerable role of the daughter of this family who's dealing with all of this criticalness and strife with her mother. Quan, who plays the father and the husband, is a lot of fun. He's enjoyable, and when he flips at a moment and just starts being ridiculously talented and doing all these crazy things, that's a lot of fun and interesting. And there's one particular moment where you first see this. It's just you see these cameras in the background of the laundromat, and you just see him like snap into action, and you're like focusing on this interaction between Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Sue, and it just slowly starts zooming in on the crazy antics that the husband's doing. And that's a combination of great physicality of the actors and great camera work and bold filmmaking by the creators behind the film. And then you have James Hong, who is always great, always a pleasure, and he plays the grandfather in this film, and he does a great job. You have supporting cast from, like I mentioned, Jamie Lee Curtis, who's interesting, Tally Meadow, who plays Becky, who's Joy's girlfriend. You have Jenny Slate, who pops up, and there's just a lot of fun little characters throughout the film. But this is big, bold, imaginative, and you won't be seeing any film like this anytime soon. And it's quite a wonder and a wonderful experience, and I absolutely loved every second of it. But those are my thoughts on Everything Everywhere All at Once. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.